Hi guys, I'm Alicia, Camacho, and welcome to this week's episode. This week, in honor of my last week being here in Portugal for the time being, I decided to talk about what it means to be Portuguese. It's one thing being Portuguese person in like South Africa, for instance, but it means something completely different when you are Portuguese in Portugal, where I am in my city. And we're just going to speak about, the day-to-day things and some things that only Portuguese people will have and only Portuguese people will know. Typically, these are Portuguese things. First things first, one of the things that you will always find in a Portuguese house, without fail, are orchids. Now, I know you're thinking, those pretty little dainty ones with those leathery looking leaves. No. I'm talking about these giant spider leaves looking plants, okay? It just looks like green leaves. As a kid, I always looked at these plants and I was like, what do they do? Can't you just, why are they so important? Why does everybody have these specific plants? Well, actually, these are orchids and they are very, very beautiful, but number one, they're very, very picky about where you plant them. Number two, they only bloom once a year, and sometimes you actually miss it. So most of the times it's January, February. You get very different variations and they are amazing. Guys, I never thought I would be obsessed with orchids, but I am. I love them. They chill everywhere. They kind of make up the greenery of a garden, because my next one is Portuguese people have no backyards or gardens, as you would think. Yeah, we think a normal backyard and garden is green grass, maybe a table, a jungle gym, a swimming pool. Depends on whatever floats your boat, right? No, not Portuguese people. No. Portuguese people essentially make veggie gardens. Okay, we have many farms in our backyards, fruit trees and lettuce and beans and baby marrows and pumpkins, potatoes and onions and spinach and cabbages. Guys, I could list the whole of the vegetable list, and you will find it essentially in just about every single person's backyard. They think that grass is a waste of time. The only time that you have grass is if you have goats, and that's about it. Grass, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. In a lot of the suburbs, and especially the older generation, so your grandparents' generation, maybe an elderly aunt or uncle, they will definitely have some sort of garden happening. Then you also definitely have chickens and roosters, because you need eggs. So you're just one little square space from having a cow in your place. But no, then you have a goat, and a lot of people grew up drinking goat's milk because, well, you had a goat. The garden that you would get. Now, speaking of gardens, you will never have it is very rare, should I say, to find a house with grass in the front. A lot of the times people will just either concrete over it or they will tile it, and you'll see there are some Portuguese houses that are tiled on the outside, and it just feels like you've put your shirt on inside out. It's just what? You put tiles on the outside. So you're busy the whole week and you're doing your whole thing, and then comes Saturday. What do we do on Saturdays? Well, guys, Saturdays are market days. Market days it's called a praça, and essentially everybody goes there. Everybody. You want to see a cousin that you haven't seen in 10 years? Go to the praça. You want to contact someone and ask them about something? You go to the praça, because everybody goes to the praça. Why? Because it's technically a mini shopping center. It's a pop-up store, oh, we're here, only today. You can buy anything that you need at the praça. You have your clothing items, then you have your towels, your pajamas, your linen. They sit and make that stuff themselves, or they embroider. So anything properly handmade, you can get from there. Also like things like cute things for babies you can get. Then you'll get your shoes or your slippers. For men who are selling like your garden tools and weird little bride things. It's like a big thing, guys. Like it's not even like it's legit. Like it's proper. So there's a lot happening at the plaza. You go into the market town hall thing, and there you will find people who sell olives and like your veggies. So if you really want organic stuff, come to the Portuguese plaza. You will find everything organic. It is also the place to buy the best broa and pão de Páscoa. Now what is that, Alicia? What is that, guys? That is only the two best breads that humanity has ever come up with. Okay? A broa is a circular type of bread that is made from like meal flour. You get different variations. You get like a cinnamon one, or you get one made with corn flour, or just like brown bread or whatever. The point is that it is got this weird like texture. It feels like kind of dense, but it's so delicious. And then like the corn one is my broa de milho is like my favorite. And then that's not even the best part, guys. The top is all like crunchy and like pokey. You don't want to hit your palate with that. Pão de Páscoa, it's called Easter bread, but we eat it year round. And it's essentially a sweet bread, okay, that is just so delicious. When you get the one that's like, it's baked, but on the inside, there's just like a little bit that's still doughy. That little doughy part, I love it. Especially like if you toast it, and then you put like butter on it and some cheese. Guys. This is why bread is a thing. We invented bread. We love it. Living in Portugal means that you will have to be ready for visitors at any time. Any hour, any time, any place, anywhere. Someone is bound to show up at your house and be like, hi, I was in the area. Although it takes about 20 minutes to get to like any place. So lovely. Scram. Here's like, she hadn't baked anything. You gotta get like all the other little things. You gotta get like tomatoes and olives and presunto and wine and water and cheese. You always have cheese at home. And then bread, obviously, it's a little bit hectic, but that's how we roll. That's what we do. We are the masters of unexpectedness. We'll just show up at your house. This one is a little weird. These people will always have two kitchens. What it is that you will have your kitchen, which is part of your house, in the actual kitchen, and then you will eat and you'll like have your guests over there, and you'll have a stove there and whatever. But a lot of the times you will have a kitchen that's slightly more at the back, and you cook different meals in different kitchens, or you cook all your meals in the one kitchen and not in the nice kitchen. You have your two kitchens because I don't know, actually. I just whatever. You have two kitchens. Then you will have a fireplace in your kitchen. Now I know this sounds weird. It's like, why a fireplace, Alicia? Like a fireplace is supposed to be in like a living room. And this is because electricity is very expensive. You'll keep your geyser just near your fireplace, and then you will light a fire, and then that fire will heat up your water, and then you'll have hot water to bath. It's a little bit of a weird way of thinking and doing things, but essentially it works for people. In summer, it's a little bit of a tricky thing. You kind of want to light the fire when no one is like around, because then at least you won't die in your kitchen from heat. But in winter, your kitchen is in the best place to be because it is the warmest, and your winter's cold. It's rough. Next thing that I'm going to talk about is the fact that Portuguese people have 4 meals a day and not our usual breakfast, lunch and supper. We like to eat. That's essentially Portuguese people. So, what better way than to slot in another reason to have a meal? This meal happens between lunch, which takes place at 1 p.m, and supper, which will normally be consumed at around 8:30, 9 p.m. Now I know it's a bit late for supper, but the sun goes down late in summer, so it's weird to eat supper during the day. So what we do have in the middle at around 4, 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock, is we have this meal called a lunch. Now I know it sounds like lunch, but it's not lunch, so don't even argue. No, it's called a lunch, and we always say, vamos lanchar. Let's go lanchar. Yes. When you go lanchar, it could be anything. It could be toast, it could be a tosta mista, it could be some fritos like rissóis, or you can have like a little pastel nata. So that's essentially what a lunch is. It's to tide you over, because you do get hungry. I mean, after working so hard, you have to have a little lunch, because that's law, If you don't have a lunch, what are you doing with your life? Great, it's beautiful. I love lunch chatting. It's such a wonderful little moment. It's like a hoo. The next thing we have, so our suburbs in Portugal are called freguesias. Every freguesia has a patron saint. Okay, out the year, you will have a festival to celebrate the saint. And it's basically a party, guys. A party just about every weekend for a different freguesia. You will have like a spit, you will have like a spit brine kind of thing. You're not spitting. A feast of food, and everybody will bring something. We'll then have some Portuguese singer like coming to sing. So we will have the traditional Portuguese dancing, which you've seen us like. It's called the rancho, and they practice really, really hard for that. It's great, it's fun. Finally, guys, this is what inspired the video in the first place. I was busy doing my family tree, and I did my grandfather's side. And wow, guys, do not underestimate when a Portuguese person says they have a big family. You think, it's an exaggeration. What do you mean? It's not an exaggeration. I am being dead serious. My grandfather has like family. Like, I cannot marry someone from Portugal. Just now marrying a cousin. Because they're all over the place, number one. And number two, every Tom, Dick and Harry is related. Number three, we're missing some people. So, some cousin could be like somewhere else, and then, next minute, your cousin. So, be very careful when you marry someone in Portugal. Make sure that you know your full family history. By doing this family tree, it became very evident to me and very obvious to me that there's too many of you guys in the same area. Your family could make up a whole town, a small little village. Your family could. I have a problem to find someone who is not part of your family. You should no longer judge when cousins marry cousins, because it appears to have been quite difficult to find someone who was not related to you. I didn't realize how big my family was until I had to do a page per family, because my grandfather's grandmother, I had like 5 siblings, and each of them had several more children. And my great-grandmother, who is my grandfather's mother, had 7 children. It's a lot of children. And each of those 7 children, except for one, had children. Those children had children, which is I. And some of those children have already had children. So there's a lot of us, like everywhere. And then like trying to find those cousins that are like everywhere else. Just think, that's just my grandfather's side. I'm still gonna do my grandmother's side plus my other 2 grandparents. That's a lot of people. Portugal is very small. I essentially could be related to anybody. We're scratching that off the list. Don't think that Portuguese people are exaggerating when they're like, my family's huge. Because even though they may just be talking about the immediate family, like they have 5 cousins, what they don't realize is that their extended family also counts as family, and that you somehow share bloodline. I have close to 6 generations on my family tree. I want to get one more up into the past. I want to know more because it's fascinating. So guys, that is the end of this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. The next time you will see me, I will most likely be in the United States of America. Sort out my life, which is very, very exciting, but also very, very scary. And I'm just like, If you want to keep up to date with what is happening, you can follow me on my social media. I am Alicia Camacho _official on Instagram and Alicia C _official on my Twitter. Like, share, and subscribe to this video. Remember, you are awesome, you are great, you are loved.